I'm Louise Livingstone, and I'm delighted to be talking to you today from the beautiful gardens at Dartington. Um, just become my spiritual home. I'm talking to you today because conflict has been a huge part of my life ever since I was a very young girl, witnessing conflict within the home situation, not really understanding what to do about it. Then finding that conflict had actually embodied itself within myself, and suffering from a long-term health condition which affected my heart. And so my whole life I've been a seeker into conflict and understanding conflict, what causes it. And in about 3 years ago, I found myself at the Schumacher College here in Dartington in Devon, and it completely changed my life. And I learned that the way that I was viewing the world was from a completely one-sided view of reality, and that actually there are other ways of being and knowing in the world. And so I passed my Masters and am now undertaking a PhD into conflict resolution, delving deeper into the inquiry that I undertook at Schumacher. And all the time whilst this has been happening, I've been healing and growing and just understanding that the contemporary Western cultural outlook on life is very one-sided. It's very mechanistic, left brain. And essentially what Schumacher taught me was that there are other ways of viewing the world, actually, where the imagination is involved. So Schumacher really taught me that whilst the current Western paradigm is living within a very one-sided view of reality, that actually there is great wholeness to our experience if we allow it in the embodied sense. However, I think as a humanity we've forgotten that there is a whole valuable other part to our experience, i.e. the imagination, the intuition. And this is essentially what I've learned. So my PhD is delving into the idea of the imagination, metaphor, symbolism, as being valuable in conflict resolution, and bringing value back to the imagination and to the intuition and to all of these sensory embodied experiences that are a full part of being human. But what we've done in the West is we've actually vilified that, we've devalued that part of our experience to such a degree that I think that's actually caused a great deal of the conflict, the wars and the violence that we see around us today. And so essentially my work is to bring value back to the imagination, working alongside the rational and the logical way of knowing, to bring in a whole experience of being human. And I think that if we can bring this wholeness of experience back to the being human, that will give us answers or maybe guidance towards how we can interact with conflict and be with each other in more imaginative, helpful, wise and mindful ways. So the reason why I'm talking to you today is because in just 6 months actually of doing my PhD, I submitted an abstract to a Transformative Learning and Dialogue conference happening in Athens in June, and I was accepted. So my abstract was accepted. I think they really like the idea of new ways of thinking about interacting with dialogue, how we can transform through dialogue, and through the wholeness of dialogue, and that means interacting with not just our objective and rational side, but also our embodied experience, our intuition and our imagination. And so I'm going to be delivering a paper on dialogue and what's happened to the Western mind since the time of ancient Greece, and how we might have got ourselves stuck in the cul-de-sac that we find ourselves in today, and what potentially we can do about it by bringing the imagination and intuition back into our experience. So I am crowdfunding to help me to get to the conference because I'm self-funding my PhD. I self-funded my masters. I sold all of my possessions. I sold my home. I sold everything to do the masters. I've been working really, really hard in a job, also to help pay for the first year of my PhD. But I need extra support to get me to Athens to deliver this really important paper, and to bring this message of hope, really, to people in the form of my paper, which is about genuine dialogue with each other. So if you'd like to support me, if you're interested about what I've been talking about, I'd be delighted for you to join me on this journey. You can find more information on my website. We'll pop the link below. And I'd just be really delighted if you would think or consider supporting me anyway. Any donation, small or large, will help me to continue this really vital work, getting it out there into the world and helping to change our worldview, to bring the wholeness of the lived experience back to our interactions with each other, so that we can become more wise and mindful in the way that we interact with each other. And that not only has a knock-on effect for us as a humanity, but also for all of the species on the planet, and how we interact and how we see them as sacred, and live with the earth, and become co-creators with the earth, living in partnership with the earth and all of her species. So yes, thank you so much for listening, and I'd be really grateful if you did want to support me. Thank you so much in advance for your support, your love, and your generosity. Many blessings.
My name is Professor Ilan Paper from the University of Exeter. I would like you very much to fund this crucial and significant project that pushes the boundaries of knowledge and helps us to understand much better both the ancient and the modern world.
I'm Philip Francis from Schumacher College, where I'm a senior lecturer, and I really recommend that you help fund Louise go to this conference. I know Louise is a fantastic student who really is able to transform very dry and arid areas of knowledge and habit and use into the most fertile and abundant areas of dialogue and quality of life. So really I hope that you will help fund Louise go to Athens and to go further on her path of this project and this PhD research. Thank you very much.
Hello, I'm Minnie Jain, from the director of the Flow Partnership, and having worked with Louise before, I can unreservedly say that she's a very driven, very committed person, and she spends her time really getting to the essence of things, and this is an opportunity which she will make the most of. I do hope that we can fund her to successfully reach Athens. Thank you.